MMAWeekly.com, here with Matt Hughes. Matt, this is a big fight, obviously, Trilogy with BJ Penn. Let me ask you first, did you kind of always feel like there would be a third fight with BJ?
I was hoping there'd be a third fight, just like BJ would. When you've got a win and a loss against somebody, you want to get that rubber match out of the way. So, yeah, I was hoping there would. I didn't see it coming now.
You guys have had kind of an interesting rivalry. BJ told me earlier when you guys first fought, he maybe tried to make it a little more personal. He said now you guys are buddies, it's a different feeling. Where does this rank in your mind as far as the rivalries you've had in your career?
Well, this is a big one. Not because it's personal, because it's not personal, but just because there's so much history between BJ and I. And what I'm saying by history is he's had the world title, I've had the world title. We've been in the sport for a long time. We've had a lot of fights in the UFC. So there's just a lot of history there, and I say good history. So it's just a big fight. It's one thing about this fight. It's a fight I want. It's a fight DJ wants, and I think it's a fight the fans want. So everybody's happy here.
The last time you fought BJ, it's been a couple years now. Is there a lot you can use from those fights, or do you feel like this really is a completely different fight?
I think it'll be close to the last fight. I think he'll come in better shape in this fight. But, as far as his tendencies, I think they'll be the same.
You're one of, I believe, only two people that have ever finished BJ in a fight. You and GSP, I think, are it. Does that give you any kind of mental edge, or just knowing that you can do it?
I haven't really thought about that much. Finishing BJ is a huge thing, but it's not something I'm going to count on going into the fight. He just, like you stated, he just does not get finished, whether it be knockout or submission or ref stop. It just really doesn't happen. So it's not one of the things where it's a goal of mine to go out and finish BJ Penn.
For the guys from the 20s and 30s in the UFCs, UFC 23, 24, whatever, you and BJ are two of the last guys that are still around succeeding. What do you attribute that to?
I think I've got smart training. When I don't have a fight coming up, I don't beat my body up. I think I've got good training partners, and I think I've continued to learn and learn and learn and learn. If you don't change your game a little bit and try and learn things, then you're going to be extinct.
A lot of people try to tag this, what you've done lately, as like a career resurgence somehow, but you never really fell that far away. But people try to say, are you going to walk away from the sport? Are you done? Things like that. Was that motivation, or was it just a matter of changing the mindset of the way you were training and getting ready for fights?
I really don't listen to what the websites or the internet says. So as far as being a resurgence, I would say no. I've always been in the UFC, and it's just had a couple bad fights, and I'm fighting better now.
You said with this fight you're having fun again, or lately you've been having fun. What is the difference with that? Is it just a mindset? What is it?
It's a mindset, and it's just cutting away the pressure that I had before. Always wanting to be in the title hunt, whether if I didn't have the belt, this and that. Now I don't care. It's whatever the UFC wants. If they want me to run for the title, they'll tell me about it. If not, I'm not going to worry about it.
Matt, in the UFC, you were one of the original really strong wrestlers that dominated in this sport. Now we see a lot of wrestlers. We also hear a lot of the criticism, guys saying wrestlers don't fight to finish, they're boring. Where do you fall in that argument?
Well, that would be an opinion right there. So my opinion is I always try and work in a fight because I never want to put it in the judges' hands because you never know what you're going to get out of the judges. But, if people don't like my style and think I don't finish, then it doesn't change the way I sleep at night.
Is there any pride, though? Because, like I said, you were one of the original really strong wrestlers. Now there's so many NCAA champions, Olympians. Is it fun to see wrestling kind of being a dominant place in MMA right now?
Yes, it is fun to see the wrestling be so dominant. And I've always been a true believer in the fact that wrestling is a martial art. People come in with karate or jiu-jitsu. I think a wrestler coming in really has the advantage over those people because I get to pick where the fight's going to be fought at. The wrestler's always going to decide, am I going to use my wrestling offensively, take him down, or am I going to use my wrestling defensively, keep my opponent on his feet?
Just real quick, your prediction, how do you feel like the fight's going to go on Saturday night?
I think it'll go my way. I think I can get my hand raised, but everybody's talking about finishing BJ Penn. I would never count on finishing BJ Penn. It just doesn't happen.
Thanks, Matt.
Mm-hmm.